all who are watching this. I'm currently at the Bauman in Bushwick, and it's where I've been rehearsing for the most part, aside from my home and my office and the shower and the train and everywhere that I could possibly think to annoy everyone with my back and forth and repeating the same things over and over again. I wanted to just kind of conduct an interview with myself, not only to give myself the chance to reevaluate and really talk through my creation journey and rehearsal process, but just to share it with people because I haven't really done that. And so my play is called Amiss, and it's my fictional adventures in missionarydom in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, of which I was raised in, and something that I hold so fondly in my heart. That is something, as even though I'm not practicing anymore, it really truly made me who I am. It gave me my sense of self. It gave me a really great foundation just in general, and apparently is something that people don't know very much about and always seem to be fascinated by, especially most recently since the Book of Mormon the musical came out. I think people kind of, there's this like air of mystery or so many things that people don't understand, because it is a religion like very based in its mythology, you know, like this great American religion that was born in America and raised within the last, couple of centuries. So I think it's always something that people have been interested in, something that I thought was pretty commonplace because it was what I was raised in. You don't really have questions until you're over and it's done and you're out on the other side, and it's like, oh my gosh, I guess there are all these questions, there are all these strange things. For me, it really almost seems like the blink of an eye. I was really religious, very fervent. I practiced, and I really, really practiced in depth, and I loved my faith, and I was true to my faith, until I wasn't. I really went from one orthodoxy to another. I stopped going to church around my senior year of high school when I got accepted to college, and then when I got accepted to college, that kind of became my religion. That's where I focused all my energy. Acting, that was where I got my sense of self, my peace. When I was doubtful, I would turn to the page. Just like when I was doubtful in my faith, I would turn to the scripture. So it became a really strangely easy transition, and I never thought much of it until I started writing this play. And I gave myself the platform to dive into why I questioned my faith, what that process was like, what stories I clung to, where did I ask the questions, and of course, working with my own peace, it's almost impossible to not question everything I do. It's impossible to, thank you, low battery. It's impossible to kind of look at it. It's different from a script that's been set in stone and published for years. It's every time I do it, I'm asking, what can I change? What can be better said? Is this character honest? Like, am I telling the truth? Is this really what I feel? Like, am I saying the right things? And when you're dealing with something as sensitive as religion and with faith, you're always going to be asking, am I offending anyone? I'm not outwardly offending anyone, I hope. But there is something about sharing controversial topics and that fear that I'm not going to be agreeable. And that's something that scares me, because being on everyone's good side is something that I really cherish in my personal life. And now giving myself a chance to say things that I never really want to share is very scary. My writing process started, as many people I guess know. I did this play for the first time. It was my senior thesis back in Miami, and I started writing like late October, and the show had to go up in December. So that means many countless nights of me not sleeping, me sleeping for 3 hours, writing for 2 hours, sleeping for 3, just really unhealthy habits. But in the end, out of sheer madness, I came up with a script that was 23 minutes long. And then this summer I submitted the play again, just feeling re-energized and really wanting to dive back into my artistry. I submitted it to Winterfest, and then now I'm going up. So I found out in July, and I had until February, which means there was a lot of hesitation and procrastination, as there always is. And even though the show is 2 weeks away, there's this one little chunk that I'm having so much trouble with, just like scrapping it, rewriting it, just taking something and trying to think what's my point, and condensing it to a sentence is really troubling. Of course, doubt. Everyone goes through self-doubt. Everyone experiences those moments where it's like, is this funny? will this make sense? Do I even like it? Is this the story that I really want to be telling? Writing in transitions and then condensing it to 20 minutes is really hard. It is an odyssey in 20 minutes. Who can tell, like, yes, every play, every movie is a slice of life. Once you take that little slice, okay, you like really put it under the microscope, there's still so much more. So condensing it to 20 minutes has been really difficult for me because I'm a talker. I like to share what I'm thinking, and my character, Sister Stallings, is very much a diarrhea of the mouth. She is constantly speaking in stream of consciousness. So it's really hard to condense the stream of consciousness, because I think part of what makes us human is that you get sidetracked, you get distracted. But when you take someone in crisis and you put them at the pressure on, you really only say what you need to say. And when everyone is looking at you and you are, this poster child for an entire religion, you do have to be careful. And I was constantly told in church, people are looking to you. You are an example, whether you like it or not, whether you realize it or not. People are listening. People are looking at you because you are different, because you are strange, because they have questions about the way you lead your life. And I think fundamentally that made me who I am, but to have to kind of put that in, turn it on its head and make a character that's really aware of this, but just finally does not care, and then speaks her mind and kind of ostracizes herself for it. And despite how embarrassing it is, she kind of trudges through and says what she needs to say. So she's her own little, like, Joan of Arc, is what I like to think of it. And this is the first and only play I've written. Since starting this one, I've started a couple of other projects, one of which is like half done, all one person, because I still don't know how to really reflect dialogue, or I'm scared of that. But yeah, it is mostly a play of uncertainty, and someone who is doubtful, someone who is angry because they're so doubtful, someone who wishes that they could just go to their former self of when they were more pure and when they had less questions. And it's seeing that transitional part of your life when you really start to evaluate, who am I? What am I sharing? What do people think of me? And in an eternal perspective, just like you're taught in church, it really matters. Every little thing that you do affects who you are in the long run. And, that almost seems to be like a tally against you. And yeah, this is a long form video of all these thoughts that I've had while I was writing. But mostly I can just say that it has been a very scary experience, very fun. Thank you to everyone who has supported me, everyone who's expressed how supportive they are of me. To everyone coming, thank you ahead of time if you can't make it, of course, because you're not here or you just can't. That's fine too. I'm hoping that I'll have it recorded so everyone can watch it. But yeah, thank you so much. Everyone, it'll be at the Hudson Guilds Theater, so it's on 38th Street between 9th and 10th Avenue, and it's in a community center in the center of the block, and right by the water in Chelsea. I'm performing on Valentine's Day at 6:15. I'm performing that Friday at 6:15, and then I'm skipping Saturday, but on Sunday I'll be performing at 8:30, and I'm hoping everyone can make it. Tickets are $23, and there's 5 plays in my bill. I don't know where I'm gonna land until the day of, so that should be fun in its own right. Thank you ahead of time. Bye.